everyone, welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I'm your host, YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and we talk about Raw this week was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I ain't gonna lie, this episode it was really lackluster, which is saying something because this is supposed to be the go-home show for Elimination Chamber coming up this Sunday. But before we get into the show, big news that occurred from the time of last week into now. AEW, you see me make one or two little jokes here and there on them, and I've shot my opinion on them fairly so, but much like any other promotion, I always give the benefit of the doubt, and I love to see more promotions out there. They had a press conference this Friday that just passed before the recording of this episode, and to the not so much surprise of everyone, Kenny Omega is now officially signed with them. He's an executive vice president, and some people were saying, you know, at this rate, everyone in AEW is going to have some type of role. Well, yeah, it's a fucking grassroots promotion, duh. I mean, that's just common fucking sense. I mean, Christ, in ECW, Paul Heyman had Tommy Dreamer, Taz, Shane Douglas, Guido, all them guys running business parts of the company. You know? So, no, of course, what's the difference? Now, couple signees they also announced a few other signees. Couple independents, you know, obviously the big names that people flipped for more than anything other than Kenny Omega was Pentagon and Phoenix, so yeah. Now, also speaking of the AEW, do want to note that the tickets went on sale and they sold out almost immediately. It was within like a half hour or so, I think. You know, and I said the same thing to them when they sold All In out as I am now. Bravo, congratulations, and you know, I can, you know, you gotta figure Dusty's looking down right now saying, Cody, you're doing good, baby. You just keep doing what you do. Don't let anyone stop you, baby. So, other news that did break, Jay White from the Bullet Club is now the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion, which, I don't know, to me it's a shock, but not in so much a good way, because you think about it, Tanahashi won the title from Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom, and that was a hell of a match, you know, and then just to have Tanahashi basically be a transitional champion, I mean, if that was the case, why not just have White do a match against Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom then? You know, instead of just putting Tanahashi, boom, saying, hey, now he has one more reign on him. It just, I don't know. To me, it felt weird because you don't normally see short title reigns like that with New Japan. But yeah. So yeah, that said, now let's get on to the show. Raw, Grand Rapids. It starts out with the God King and the MILF in charge, Stephanie, out there in the ring, you know, hyping up the crowd, talking about the Elimination Chamber coming up, WrestleMania and all that, and then they bring in Becky. Becky comes out, you know, they talk about on how she was suspended and all that, and then they said, Becky, you chose not to see our doctors, but you saw yours. Some people were saying, what's the logic and the reasoning behind that? Simple enough. You go back to last week, she was saying she don't trust the bosses, she don't trust the bosses' doctors. You know? So, yeah, in a way, it makes sense saying, I don't trust your guys, I'm going to go see my own people. So, in a way, it kind of makes sense there. But they were saying, alright, well, you didn't see our doctors, but you saw a doctor, and, they talked to them, they've looked over everything, your knee's fine, you're cleared to go. All you got to do is apologize for punching Steph and throwing a shot at me. And then it was Becky saying, no, I don't need to. No. And they were saying, well, it basically kind of like a parent talking down to a kid. You're going to have an ultimatum. You can either say sorry for what you did, or you can get pulled from the show. So they kept leaving that as the big teaser for the night. So after that, and then we get into the first match of the night. Sasha and Bayley going against Nia and Tamina, going up against Liv and Sarah Logan. The winner is the first to be in the Elimination Chamber match, which, given the given the way the chamber is set to go, I mean, the way an Elimination Chamber match goes, you would figure wanting to win first isn't necessarily a thing most people would want. I'm just saying, but either way, it was pretty much Liv and Sarah Logan were pretty much the team punching bags for Nia and Tamina. Bayley didn't even really get much in. Sasha got tossed off the apron and then escorted to the back, which then added more fuel to Corey Graves' fire, saying on how, Sasha doesn't want to do nothing with this and all this, that, and the other. And God bless, a lot of people have been giving Corey Graves a lot of shit for the past few days because of the stuff he throws out on Twitter. But he's supposed to be that, can't even say a heel, but he's supposed to be that guy that when you hear him go, you're just like, God, I just wish I had 5 fucking minutes with him, and it just, he fucking is doing his job. If he's getting you pissed at the shit he's saying, he's doing his job. It's as simple as that. So, like I said, Sasha, she got taken out. Bayley at one point does wind up making a hot tag coming in. Starts cleaning up house, but next thing you know, eventually, numbers game winds up coming into hand. Tamina winds up hitting her with a kick. Or not Tamina, it was Morgan. No, Bayley caught Liv Morgan, and then Tamina caught Bayley, and then after that, Tamina tagged in Nia, who then threw out a Samoan drop. And got the 1, 2, 3. So Nia and Tamina are going to be the first team in, which means they're more than likely going to be the second or third team eliminated. That's my guess. Next up now, we got Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. Before we get into that, though, one thing, it was a funny segment. And don't talk about promos or segments unless they lead to a match normally, but this one tickled my funny bone, something fierce. Elias was out there, and just as he was about to do his strum, next thing you know, boom, they cut to a segue of Becky talking to Finn in the back. And then, just as he's about to do it again, boom, they cut to a video of Seth's year. And a lot of people at first are thinking, oh, what the fuck, a production truck doesn't know what the hell they're doing. No. By the time the second one rolled around, you knew damn well they were doing this to fucking build up on the fact that Elias is going to get pissed that he isn't getting his shit in. And then, just as he's about to for a third time, then the Lucha House Party comes out. And then, of course, just what I said happens. Elias gets pissed, flips out, and then does one of his traditional heel songs to Grand Rapids, and then Kalisto's like, oh, we came out here Can we do one with you? Wanna play? And it starts playing. Basically. 10 Get You 20 was probably plugged in because, you know, while he was moving his hand right there, you know, you could see, didn't really see much moving on, didn't see his upper hand moving much on the frets. So yeah. Next thing you know, I was like, hey, you're good. How about a duet? I'll grab my other one. Just as he does, next thing you know, wham! Cracks Kalisto and then runs off. So now I'm torn. Damn it, this is Vince McMahon logic. Don't like Elias, huh? Well, we'll have him beat up someone else you don't like. Ha ha! Now you're gonna have to fucking pick, pal. God damn that man sometimes. So yeah, now we'll get into the next match. Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre. Like I said, I've said this a million times on this show. You know, this is a match, a one-on-one match between these two guys. I am dying to see happen because quite simply, the history. You know, and I'm talking from a fan perspective because, you know, you go back into ICW. Before McIntyre re-signed with the company and he was going by his real name, Drew Galloway. He was in ICW. It was a Fear and Loathing show. It was one in a Hydro. And Mick Foley was supposed to be there. He couldn't, so instead WWE let them have Finn for it. He was still recovering from his shoulder surgery. Finn came out, cost Galloway the match at that one. I think it was for the ICW title. Not 100% certain though, so don't quote me. But, you know, I just remember vividly seeing that and then seeing the little promo video Drew cut saying on how he wanted to get his hands on Balor for it and just thinking, God damn, that'd be a hell of a match. And just as we're about to get this one, you know, yeah, it was pretty much as quick as it happened, boom. As quick as it started, it ended because Lashley and Lio Rush were sitting at ringside to watch because they announced earlier in the day that Finn is going to have a 2-on-1 handicap match for Lashley's Intercontinental title at the pay-per-view. And they were saying that Lashley wanted to get a ringside view of his opponent in action. So, yeah. As Finn's just about to go up to hit the coup de grace, next thing you know, Lashley, boom, throws him off. So the ref throws it out and then proceeds to McIntyre, Lashley beatdown, which then leads to Kurt Angle coming out to save the day, which leads to Baron Corbin, which leads to Braun Strowman, which leads to the ghost of Teddy Long appearing out of nowhere saying, we're going to have a tag team match players. Holla, holla, holla. And now we got a 6-man tag. Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Kurt Angle going against Corbin, Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. And Finn and Kurt were pretty much the team punching bags. The heels were pretty much leading the match. It wound up at first coming to an end when it was Lashley. He got a pin on Balor, and you could see it vividly. 1, 2. And then the ref stopped, but Finn's foot was on the ropes, and then you heard the timekeeper bell. They called saying that the heels won, and then another ref came out saying, no, his foot was on the ropes. So then they called for a restart, and yeah. After the restart, Braun eventually got a hot tag. He cleared house. Match came to an end with Braun Strowman scooping up Bobby Lashley, hitting a running power slam on him, tags in Finn. Finn does the coup de grace on Bobby Lashley. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, by that standard, then, more than likely, Finn's not going to win the Intercontinental title on this coming Sunday. But, you know, plans as they are come arise and things can change. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, it does, and Finn does get it, because honestly, he would be a really good... I just think he would do good with that title. You know? So yeah, next up we got women's action. Nikki Cross versus Riott. And okay. Love Nikki Cross, but my God, her character scares the ungodly hell out of me. Not because it's a, ooh, that's believable kind of sense, but more so because I've dated women that crazy kind of sense. And, you know, I'm always afraid to make eye contact with her because I'm afraid of what might happen. So yeah, Nikki won. This match was pretty much a throwaway. I hate to say the term popcorn match, but it pretty much was. And yeah, the highlight of the match was Nikki Cross exploding out at Ruby right at the start of the match. That was about it. It came to an end when Ruby hit the Riott kick, and then 1, 2, 3, that was it. And they also announced earlier in the day as well, Ruby Riott's going to have a match against Ronda at Elimination Chamber for the title. So yeah, now they're floating out the idea of, well, if Ruby wins, then Ruby's going on to have that match at WrestleMania, you know, instead of Ronda. So now next matchup we got Dean Ambrose going against EC3. This was a rematch from last week when EC3 got the win. This had nice back and forth feel. I dug the flow, the pace of the match, you know. Just I'd like to see EC3 get a chance to speak somehow. You know, he's had a chance to, he's had a chance to come out get my damn words right. He's had a chance to come out and actually perform in the ring. Now let's all see on how he can fucking do on the mic, because we know how well he can work on the mic. But yeah, it was a decent match, had a nice little back and forth. The match came to an end with Dean Ambrose getting a roll up right out of nowhere. So yeah, kind of back and forth. Now we got one each, so now we're gonna get a rubber match. More than likely this Sunday or Monday coming up. Now we go to the last match of the night, so technically the main event of the night. Bobby Roode, Chad Gable going against Cody Rhodes' favorite team. Fuck the Revival. And for the coveted Raw Tag Team titles. And Roode and Gable, they were leading right up into the break. The Revival started leading after the break. Now Bobby Roode wound up getting the hot tag, started cleaning up house, but it was after Bobby got the hot tag, the match really started to pick up some, and oh my God, it was good. You know, as lackluster as the show was, this was the highlight of the show for me, this match right here. And I absolutely dug it. I absolutely loved it. You know, there was a nice amount of near falls, a lot of anticipation on what do you got to do now to get these guys to stay down on both sides. Match finally came to an end when Revival hit the Shatter Machine on Chad Gable to win, and now they are the Raw Tag Team Champions. So yeah, yes, please tell me, Uncle Dave, on how your many well-credited sources have all told you on how the Revival asked for their release, you know, and on how they were going to be going soon, and on how they were going to join Cody and the Bucks and all that soon. Please tell us on how that came to be. Or are you going to spin some bullshit saying, oh, well, Vince just promised them the titles if they'd stay? It's fucking bullshit. You know, honestly, this is what it was. You know, do I think they asked for their release? More than likely. I think they may They may have asked, got denied and told, listen, understand you want to leave, but we got plans for you coming up. You know, that's what I think it was. But that's me, my personal speculation. Now, closing segment of the night came to be, after this match, Hunter and Steph came, excuse me, Hunter and Steph came out again. They insisted Becky come out. Then they said, Becky, it's do or die time. We need to know. All you gotta do is say 2 simple words. And then that's it. So, Becky looked like, just 2 words, huh? And the whole time you could hear the crowd saying, yelling, suck it, suck it, suck it. 'Cause, you know, I'm sitting on the edge of my couch thinking, man, if Becky just straight up decks Hunter and then goes and does a crotch chop to him, that'll fucking set her in stone as a fucking anti-hero, man. That'd be so fucking great. And it's just, alright, fine. I'm sorry. And then after that, Hunter and Steph were like, alright, thanks. Oh, that's it? Yeah, that's it. Well, looks like the man's back on the card. Ron, I'm coming for you. And then out comes Ronda. She comes out, power walking out. You know, and then just as she's about to go and get into Becky's face, next thing you know, Vince comes out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold it right there, pal. Now, you want to say you're the man. I'm the man around here. Now you got an attitude problem. I don't like attitude problems. They may have bought your apology, but I didn't. So you know what? You're suspended for 60 days effective now, which will leave you suspended till 5 days after WrestleMania. So, instead, Ronda, your opponent is going to be... And then out comes Charlotte, and Vince hypes up Charlotte like fucking crazy and then says, Ronda, you better get used to this. You're gonna say this. Ha! The new Raw Women's Champion. You know, talking about with that. And so, basically on how it's kind of looking now, yeah, the rumors of it possibly being the triple threat are going to more than likely be the case with Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky. And alright, so they're basically building Ronda in a Stone Cold kind of way. Charlotte, or not Ronda, I'm sorry, Becky in a Stone Cold kind of way. Charlotte almost in a Rock kind of way, so I'm guessing that would leave Ronda Rousey as like Mick Foley being just kind of there. Have a nice day! You know? I'm guessing. So, yeah. I mean, great match, but then we get that as the ending point of the show, and it's just, what? Now, fan perspective, I freaked out just like everyone else did. After I had a minute to let it sink and soak in, okay. Becky's gonna invade the shows and piss a lot of people off to get her spot back. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. So yeah, that's my guess. That's my take on it. So that is it. And that is it for this week's show, folks. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure you look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Do also have another account if I get ghosted or put in Twitter jail, Tim_Vicious. I'm also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here. Or my Twitter at TimVicious. I don't think you got your creep John going. Also, folks, do not forget to follow all of these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter at some Mulligan, Kenny Killer, my good brother, and Danny Sunday, DSB_IV, Cranky Grandpa Dazzy MWP, and Sergeant Curry Pants. Big ups to my executive producer Oliver Ben, who did help provide the music for this week's show. Don't forget to check his music out. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. And if you want one of these sweet Ollie Rewind shirts, give me a holler and I'll talk to Ollie for you. Show that man some love and support. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.